Kieran Jack, only 7 possessions, and most of those really didn't have the impact that he would normally have.
It's on again. Will the rampage continue, or will we see the Sydney Swans, as we so often do, fight their way back into this one? Parker, Kennedy, use out of the middle. O'Keefe, handball smothered partially by Johnson. Barlow burrowed in and got it to Spur, who got a nasty cut above his eye in the first half and had to come off under the blood rule. Ted Richards will have his hand full with the skipper, who played so well in that first half. Sandilands in front of Mumford. Mumford's a massive man, but Sandilands simply dwarfs him. McVeigh, who had 20 kicks in a quarter last week, one of the great games. Bolton. Will this be his last game of football? Jude Bolton, as he scraps it out in and underneath. Duffield, little kick wide. De Boer was there, and this one surely will be balled up by the umpire now.
Benny McGlynn, you just see he's trying to get some real aggression going into the contest, and they can fight back a bit here, Sydney, and take it back up to the Dockers.
Great tap from Sandilands. Shark by McGlynn. He's got an outside runner in Kennedy. Kennedy shapes up, spots up White. Now White's capable of kicking the goal from there. If we just go back with some composure here. Here's a big kick of the footy, and this is on target. Perhaps a little out to the right. Good mark taken by Ryan Crowley. Boy, was that a beauty.
He's just winning the ball. You know, hard one-on-one there, Crowley. That was better by the Swans, so a bit of momentum through the stoppage, got the ball going their way, found a target up forward.
Of course, our two mates here, Lingy and Das, All-Australian selectors, didn't want Crowley in the All-Australian 40, never mind the All-Australian 22. Richo, they couldn't see a spot for him in the 40.
I think Lingy was the last targeter to make an All-Australian.
Well, I think Lingy said he had to kick more goals like he used to.
Lingy kicked about 35 that year as the best run-with player in the game, and a very unlucky Ryan Crowley, but a hard team to get into.
So many midfielders that are unlucky, really, isn't it, if you look at it? There's a lot of A-grade talent getting around in the midfield.
Don't give them excuses, Richo.
It's a tough job.
Sydney have just had a slight advantage in the opening minute or two here. Didn't look like troubling the scorers, but they've had most of the footy. Rampy, but it's under this sort of pressure. That's the trouble. That was nearly a throw out the back then. Kennedy now's got to go back and get it, and they just get forced back by Fremantle. Here's Biggs. Kick is good to Smith. Now they find some open space. Grundy's kick, short to Bolton. Bolton led to the footy there by Johnson.
Even that, they won the footy, they transferred it quickly from one side to the other. You would normally expect that you might get a free out the other side of the ground, not against this team. They are just so disciplined, they work so hard defensively that you just don't get free.
Walters to Fife. First opportunity for Freo. Rampy gets back. Loves the left foot here, Rampy. Little handball to Biggs. Biggs back to Smith. Smith now able to hammer the footy. Beautiful kick to Kieran Jack. The co-skipper gives it to Jetta, who's had an extremely quiet night. Pike was down there, couldn't get on the end of it.
They've come out, they're getting some passages of play together now, though. Some handball received, some run. They're getting some overlap. We didn't see that at all in the second quarter. So this has been a positive start for the Swans.
McFarlane, who was so tender in his warm-up. Quick little snap at goal is just the behind.
I reckon it was like we said, BT, he just was being cautious about his preparation in the warm-up. He knows his body, obviously.
Almost refused to kick it at all in the warm-up, which is something we've never seen before.
I guess after 223 games, he's got his routine. He knows what he can and can't do.
Duffield. It'll be interesting if they've got this game in control in the last quarter whether they take the risk by continuing to play McFarlane. Here's Walters. Ballantyne runs forward. Pavlich as well. Richards did well. Fast hands Malcheski to Grundy, and a neat kick by Grundy around the corner.
I reckon Pearce just hurt his foot there a little bit. He's got up limping. Oh, he looks all right.
Cheddar. What do you reckon, Doc, on Pearce?
Yeah, the doctor, physio went to get him and he's waved him away, so probably just a little bit of a tweak. He's all right.
McFarlane just nonchalantly walking away after he handballed. It's almost like he's trying to do the absolute minimum to get by, but having said that, not shirking one issue. Crowley tackled Spur now. We'll have to go back to McFarlane. He does. Now he's got to go, and this is what I mean. He does it when he has to do it. Little right foot banana ball there. Grundy did well, and Walters wanted the boundary and found it. So no score for Fremantle so far, just the one behind for Sydney. In the opening 6 minutes of footy. McVeigh, free kick Bird.
Just imagine John Longmire at half-time really would have put it on his leaders, and well, that's going to be reversed the other way, so they might get caught offside here.
Great kick from Pearce. He said to Mundy, come at me and I'll hit you. Didn't let him down. Now into the hole, and that was a little bit cute. He was actually looking for Pavlich there.
They've got to go now, the Swans.
Well, they've had all of the footy, Richo.
Yeah.
You've got to make it work for him. McVeigh at centre-half back.
I just think John Longmire might have just eyeballed a few at half-time. He would have said to Jared McVeigh and Josh Kennedy and Kieran Jack and Dan Hanbury and all their hard-running midfielders, it's all up to you, boys. We need you to find a way.
And there is a way.
Well, that was
Parker.
That was great. They won the ball back in their defensive 50. Everett marked the footy, and they simply worked harder then. They got players out on the overlap. Hanbury pushed really hard to create that ball there. That was well played.
Yeah, really nice kicking. Parker ends up with it about 20 metres out. Haven't kicked the goal since the 23-minute mark of the first quarter, and they've got this one, finally.
That's what they needed. Just a little bit of confidence, and as we were talking, the link-up play was McVeigh. It was Kennedy. Hanbury gut running, he's a specialist at that. And Luke Parker, who's a ripping young player, just couldn't find the foot in the first half. So just build back a little bit of confidence, get a bit back on your own terms, and that's exactly how they would want to go about it in the second half.
Now, Michael Johnson's been superb in this game, Doc. Is there an injury concern on for him?
Yeah, this is his first game back with that right calf, Brian, since round 22. And look, in the last quarter, the second quarter, he had a little bit of attention to it. He's just off again. So All-Australian this week, but a little bit sore, Johnson.
Kennedy the bird, and I tell you what,
They're starting to win some ball now, Brian.
they are, Richo. If they can get it back into the low 20s, they're in this game. They're such a good fighting team. Mumford puts his head over the foot, he wins that. Pike shovels it out. Sydney around the corner. Parker again. Couldn't hang on. McVeigh, fast hands. I think it was Bird that got the kick in towards White. White fighting. Was it too high? Umpire said no, but they've locked it in. They're forward 50. They're coming here, Sydney.
Well, they've been able to get some control of the football, and they're winning the clearances. Parker's had 3 clearances. They've taken 11 marks for the quarter already. Only took 15 for the whole second quarter, so at least they're getting the footy.
Hunting in some numbers. Parker again. Looking dangerous. Smothered by Clark was timely. Some numbers around the footy here for Sydney. Pearce out the back door. Kicks it high. Richards has got Pavlich beat here. Some support from Grundy. Well done, Richards. Immediately to Everett. Fumble wasn't timely, though. Handball to McGlynn. McGlynn gets it and goes. Poor kick. Spur. Mzungu. And the hard-charging Hill with a ripping kick around the corner to Walters. Almost had Pearce. The turnover complete by Everett. Just not absolutely perfectly clean yet, Sydney. Clark will get back. It's under McGlynn pressure. Came at him really quick. McFarlane quickly gave it up and pushed out of bounds with Spur.
And that's a bit of Sydney dishing it back up. I love Ben McGlynn attacking the body hard there. Michael Johnson's a bit of a worry. I desperately hope he hasn't re-injured his calf. Doc, what do you think?
Yeah, he's definitely more sore than he was in that second quarter incident, so they're just having a discussion about a sub right now.
Rampy, Richards.
They've got a great structure in place now, the Swans, behind the footy. They're winning it back.
Big decision for them to make. Have they done enough that they can take him off?
Look at Mike.
Or is this charge from Mike Pike? It is a big decision for Ross, isn't it? Whether you save him in hope that you get through or whether this challenge is actually real.
I think you just got to get there first. It's not there yet.
So in that case, you'd play him.
Well, it all depends on... If you think he's going to tear his calf, well, he's got to come off, doesn't he?
He'll just trust his medicos to make the decision there.
It's a massive, massive story, not only about tonight, because Michael Johnson, they're only all Australian, but they do get through. Tragedy if he can't play.
I wonder if they'll let him sit for the rest of this quarter. What do you think, Doc?
Well, Brian, they cannot afford to let it get worse. He's going to miss a month if he re-tears that right calf. So, I mean, precaution says get him right for next week. They look like they're going to win, so I don't think they should risk him.
Gee, he's sitting there. It's almost like they're looking to see what happens in the next 10 minutes and then make a decision. It's a tough one, but I think I'm with Richo. You just got to win it no matter what first. Can they hold Sydney off over the next 10 or 15 minutes and not concede too much of the half-time advantage of 39? It's at 32 at the moment.
If they take him off now, they don't lose any rotations. Still the same amount of rotations. Just wouldn't want to get another injury straight away.
Good lead for him.
Well, he's still there, and he's still on the bench, and he's looking like they're taking their time. Lockie Neal, the sub there in the vest, is not even warming up.
This is about the time you start thinking a little bit about the sub anyway, isn't it?
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's just the next 10 minutes. See whether they can keep Sydney, you know, to a goal or less.
Thanks, Scott.
And then take it from there. I'm quite sure that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, that makes sense. Give them time to reassess by the medical staff as well and see if they can come up with a conclusive decision. But right at the moment, the Swans are finding a way back into this game, BT. They just need a couple of goals in a row. At least they're winning the footy.
Had most of the play at their end, Sydney.
Only one inside 50, 3-0. Everett's loose behind the play here.
And Richo, just quickly, Sydney have made their substitute, Craig Bird off. Gary Rowan just coming onto the ground now.
So they've just gone for a run. They've given up on a more of a defensive player and brought a run on.
Kick inside 50 for Fremantle. Mundy shrugs the tackle. Barlow avoided the tackle as well. Ricochet ball. Walters shrug. Left foot snap goal. I reckon there's the answer. 38 points.
Oh, great work by Michael Walters. What a great year. Talked him up tonight, but he's been the most improved player in the competition this year. From his output last year to this year, 42 goals for the season. That's the free kick that gave them the opportunity to go forward. Not a lot in it.
Back to 38. And another goal here, and I reckon you'll see Johnson put the red vest on. Ballantyne scrapping for the footy all of a sudden. The intensity by Fremantle just coming back a notch. Look at them attack the body again here. McGlynn forcing Sydney back with every possession. Biggs. Oh boy, Richards. Wow, this is fantastic again. High tackle by Main.
That's what Fremantle wants you to do. Handball the ball repeatedly and also handball it backwards. Then they bring their heat as well as...
McGlynn, good kick. Bolton takes the mark.
Well, the kick ended up in Bolton's arms, and this might be his last game of AFL football. It will be if they don't win. But the chase again, the ball was nowhere in the picture, around 100 metres just to get a fingernail on.
His first kick of the night, Jude Bolton. 14-minute mark, third quarter, and it's a big one. And he's got it working right to left. A big kick for Sydney, and he knows it.
Yeah, Jude Bolton has been an iconic player for the Sydney Swans. 300th game of AFL footy was the prelim last year, and the Swans disposed of the Pies last year. A bit of a different night tonight for Jude. He's got a massive fight on his hands, but no man has laid more tackles in the game of AFL football than that man Jude Bolton.
Well, there's Jude putting the ball through and trying to get his side up. They've really isolated Gary Rowan as their full forward. Now they've opened up to 50. Try and give him a bit of space with the speed that he possesses.
And that goal has brought Johnson back on the ground as well, as Fife got a really nice clearance out of the middle. Walters! Oh, what a leap!
That is ridiculous.
How good is he?
The hang time to be able to do that.
He does everything. Just pressures up. He's got the skills. He can crumb the football, and then he can do this stuff.
He kicks goals too, didn't he? 41 coming into tonight. Now lining up for his third in a big prelim final. Look at that.
There he is, directly in front. Walters, as you say, asked for his third goal of the night, and he's got it. So it's back out to 38.
Oh, that hurts the Swans. They worked hard to get that goal to Jude Bolton, and then straight out of the clearance, Mate Fife just bangs it forward. And Michael Walters kicks his third goal, second for this quarter. One of them was a crumbing goal, the other one was a hanger. He can do everything.
Good leap. Really good leap from the small man. Kicks his third. Just get the feeling the game has opened up a little for both sides.
Yeah, there is a bit more space and able to get through a little bit more. I just don't think it was possible to keep up what we saw in the first half, but the response is there for the Dockers. They seem to be able to, when it's required, win their own footy and get it back the other way. That's a great sign to see Michael Johnson out there running without any restriction.
Pavlich, Richards, Ballantyne.
In the back,
in the back. Tweet here from Patrick Dangerfield. Forget the purple haze, Patrick says. I've seen the purple maze tonight. No way out. Quite poetic. Paddy Dangerfield.
Peacock. He's like a peacock, Danger.
Peacock.
Struts around, does Danger.
Jack. Short little footy. Wide Bolton with his man under the foot. He runs back underneath it now. Little handball over the top. Got the little kick away. It'll be paid to Hanbury. So goal for goal here in the third quarter.
This third quarter is how I anticipate the game going to be played. I thought Sydney would have their wins. They'd get forward and work a bit harder, then the Dockers would come back. I didn't see what we saw in the first half coming, but a good effort for the Swans to come out with a bit more fight.
Favours his left side, Hanbury. Hung it out left, a little too far.
Got to be fair on that man there, Daniel Hanbury. He had a really significant medial ligament strain a few weeks ago, and you only can guess what sort of difficulty he's been playing under in the final series. And you often don't hear these stories until the next year, but
Rampy with his man. Now it's about this kick. Can he make it work? Yes, he can to Pike. Handball backwards. Buys a little bit of time here for McGlynn. McGlynn wide to Rowan, the fresh man.
Yeah, they've done this well. They've isolated Rowan as the leading full forward, and that's why. Because of his pace.
And put sub warming up for Fremantle there.
Be interesting to see who they bring off. But he's got amazing pace, Gary Rowan. If you put the ball in front of him, he's going to be able to make up the space.
Lockie Neal was that sub for Freo. Here is the sub for Sydney. Rowan needs to kick this, and that's on line. That is a perfect kick. So Sydney continue the run of goal for goal goals.
Beautiful finish by Gary Rowan, and certainly after that significant injury that he had, he hasn't lost any pace. That ball was out in front, and he put a couple of metres on his opponent out of the goal square.
It's one of the great stories with Joe, isn't it? That he looked at one stage as if he'd never play again. He was walking with a limp, really horrible broken leg. You know that he's just going to be better and better next year.
We can see Fremantle sub there. Lachie Neale is on the ground. It's Matt De Boer who's been subbed off. We thought Michael Johnson was a possibility, but they've gone with De Boer and Lachie Neale into the game. So I'm sure Doc will be keeping a very close eye on Johnson for the rest of this half, because it could have a big impact next week if the Dockers get through.
The 100th game for De Boer as he takes a seat for the rest of it. And he can only hope that his teammates can get him across the line and give him a chance at a first grand final next weekend.
You're right about Gary Rowan, Dust. It's just great to see him out on the field. It's going to take him a while, to get up to his best form, but just to be out there, it's a great story.
31 points the margin, and that was the margin that the Dockers won the second quarter by, the 31. Crowley's handball smothered by Jude Bolton. Mzungu, McLean, Bolton did really well to force the turnover. White's got to fight like hell in there. Parker got one high. He'll get the free. Been dangerous in this quarter, Parker. Sydney looking for consecutive goals. Deepish ball. Rowan turned in and under. Dawson with a footy. Happy with the boundary line there.
There you can see the Swans have had more than their fair share of footy in this third quarter. 8 of the last 10 inside 50s. They've kicked 3 goals to 2. And really have come out and fought hard. The margin's still at 31 points, though. Everett.
He's had a good quarter, Everett. It's been loose across half-back most of the quarter.
Melcheski, careful and neat. Cunningham wants to get it out wide because there's a free man out there. It's Nick Smith. He's got plenty of time to gather. He can go to Grundy short, and he does with a perfect kick. Now Grundy measures the footy wide. Looking for O'Keefe, but Spur did well. Five minutes left in the third. Both subs activated. Spot and the GF available for one of these teams next week. Fremantle have never been there before. Their coach, Ross Lyon, has been involved in countless grand finals when you consider his assistant days at Sydney and then St Kilda, and now, of course, the opportunity here.
Yeah, he's got an amazing coaching record, BT, as a senior coach. 7 seasons, 6 finals, 4 prelim finals. This will be his 3rd grand final if you include the draw as a coach. So he's a genius, Ross.
And I'm not sure people realise the apprenticeship Ross Lyon did to get to be an AFL coach. He was at Richmond as an assistant and reserves coach. Then he went to Carlton, coached the reserves there, and then went up to Sydney. And it was a long road to become a senior coach.
Certainly had to do that apprenticeship. Here's McGlynn. McGlynn with a real good kick to Rowan, who got both claws on it. And I think he's got a free for a shoulder-high tackle.
They're not happy with McFarlane, but well done, Gary Rowan. If you present it to football as a forward and you try and take the ball at its highest point like Gary Rowan did, that's what happens.
But look at this, test out his legs. Remember, he had a bad break.
Oh, yeah, I get nervous watching him land. But, yeah, you jump and try and take the ball at its highest point. Defenders can't do anything else but chop your arms.
To get him back to a 25-point margin, boys. Rowan, the sub, has got to kick his second.
Jeez, that would have made it interesting, that one.
Well, it's been a really good quarter from Sydney. That would have been the icing on the cake, and it would have just left the door open a little bit. Still at 30 points and 4 minutes remaining. Another goal, and then the Swans would feel as though they can ask the question in the last quarter.
50 metres.
Give us a spell. I want to see that again.
Knocked the ball away after he'd taken the clean mark, Joe. Let's have a look. There it is. And that is 50 metres every day.
Yeah, fair enough, the big mummy.
Yeah, here is a long footy to Zach Clark. Off hill, around the corner, Walters to Main. Main dropped it in the square, 1 metre out. Great centering ball by Walters.
Geez, good Walters.
I'll tell you what, you want to go down the other end, score a goal. You know, moments like that are pretty unusual, and just then see if you can put a bit of mental pressure back on the Dockers. And you know, there's 25 points to go at three-quarter time.
Hawthorn with 20 points down last night, three-quarter time. Looks like Ryan O'Keefe's gone to half forward. I like that move because he's got great hit up. He'll always present at the ball carrier and give the halfbacks an option. And you could just see him down there for the last quarter.
Sutcliffe going with him. Hill fast hands to Mundy. Hanbury really good. Too high, and that's a Hanbury free at half-back.
They've got to spread hard forward here and go.
There's been a great response from Hanbury, from Parker, McVeigh, and
have a look at Rowan here.
He's got involved too.
He's out. And this again is nice footy around the perimeter.
Jeddah
takes them on, winds up from 50. Out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, there's some players in the middle of the ground. They're not happy with him.
He looks a bit sore there, Lewis Jeddah, but what Fremantle have done so well, I think you boys touched on it well at half-time, is it's not necessarily the tackle numbers that Fremantle have had tonight. It's just getting a hand in, just putting that little bit of pressure, just that last little lunge to make sure Jeddah's kick then was under pressure. He kicks the ball out in the full. Fremantle get to set up again. Just their desperation. That's the sort of thing that's got him in the position they're in, and that's the sort of thing that's potentially next week going to win them a premiership.
Jeddah saw there, and Jude Bolton just saying, get over there, mate, and do it quick. I don't care how sore you are. And he responded, I might add. High footy, Andreas Everett at the back of the pack. Over the line, out of bounds it goes.
And that's worked for them this quarter, is having him back there. It's what they normally like to try and get, is that extra spare back and set up play from half back. They've had it more on their terms, the Sydney Swans in this third term.
One-way conversation there with Ross and Mzungu. Melcheski, little nudge in the back, forced him to overkick the footy, and now Fremantle can launch off half-back. Ballantyne will be the recipient here, needs a clean gather, got it, gave the handball backwards ever so slightly to Sutcliffe, who spots up Barlow.
I reckon they're going to slow it down a little bit here now.
2 minutes left in the quarter, Richo. They certainly don't want to concede, and they want to put themselves in a position where they're the only ones that can score in the rest of this quarter.
Swans have just got to get a man each now and press up on them.
Johnson to Clark. Clark on the wing.
They've done it well, the Swans. They're all manned up now.
Now he goes down the line. Taking his man under the footy is Lachie Neale. The fresh sub. Gathers. No one got him from behind. Somehow he found space. Momentum. Gathers and goals. What an important goal for Freo. 37-point lead.
Yes, both subs have made a bit of an impact. Lachie Neale, he'll be eyeing off a grand final berth and wanting to make sure that he doesn't miss out next week, and that helps his cause big time. At the other end, we've seen Gary Rowan come on and also prove that he is worthy of a spot in the side as well. So that's a big goal, a really important goal.
Yeah, that was the crucial ball there. McGlynn got in front and just a little hand in the back. Not much there, but just we've seen less paid this year. Just crucial once it got over the back.
So out of the middle, Pearce to Fife. Main, beautiful tap. Barlow, got to be clean. Saw Fife heading in front. Gathers, poise, slingshot, goal! 43-point margin, game high.
Oh, he's a gun, Das. He just does everything well, doesn't he?
What I love in that passage of play, they're out at Fremantle. Look at the pubs in Fremantle going berserk at the moment.
Look at the trophies everywhere.
They have got a great feeling they're going to a grand final for the first time in history. Look at this pickup from Fife. All the pressure on around him, as clean as you'd like under the heat. The follow-up run, and then the ability just to steady and finish. He's a Rolls Royce, Nate Fife. And you just get that sense, as we said, they feel like they're on their way to a grand final.
We've seen him tonight do this stuff. He took contested marks inside 50. He took saving marks on the half-back line. He's just got it all covered in that fight.
A minute to go in the quarter, and Fremantle have kicked 2 late ones to knock the wind out of Sydney here. Pearce, a straightening footy. Ballantyne, almost a knock of the arms. Richards, through traffic, needs to be steady. Great kick to Pike. Dropped a real easy one there, Pike.
It's a great balanced side, this Fremantle team. You've got a bit of the angry nasty in Ballantyne and Crowley. You've got the class in the Rolls Royce in Hill and Fife running through the middle of the ground. You've got a superstar in Pavlich as a forward. And I reckon you've got the best defence in the game. McFarlane, Johnson and All-Australian. And the list goes on.
And you love your hard-working midfielders, Barlow and Mundy. Just get the job done, no fuss.
And Mayne has a pressure forward as well, that role that he plays. It's a pretty complete side. You can just imagine every Hawthorn player sitting at home tonight, Alistair Clark's and his whole team, and they'll be dissecting this. But one thing they'll know, they've got a massive challenge next week on the grand final.
Mike Pike in the finals pressure dance, not 1 mark tonight.
Yeah.
Has been a great contested mark all year. Here's Mundy. This is a very good quarter for the Fremantle Dockers. Have a listen to this. As they get to their feet, not just at the stadium, all around Western Australia. Fremantle by 43, desperately wanting a spot in the granny next week. Back with the final quarter in just a moment.